Hello girls, gays, and non-binary babes. Welcome back to my channel. Today I'm so excited to talk about these books. I'm going to be talking about my favorite recent reads as of late. I haven't been very active on here because I have a month and a half until my wedding, so it's very much like go go go, and I don't really have time to be filming videos, and I'm also less than a month out from my dance recital, which I also teach dance, so all my girls are getting ready for that, so lots of things happening all at once. Don't really have time to film. So yeah, these are going to be all of my recent favorite books, and I hope you enjoyed the video, and let's get started. I'm going to first talk about the physical books that I have. The first two that I have been absolutely obsessed with are Midnight Blue Light Special and Half Off Ragnarok by Shauna McGuire. These are books 3 and 4 in the Encrypted series, which is a series about a family of cryptozoologists who kind of they like study cryptids and protect them and all this different stuff. And I have been loving this series. I actually bought the next 3 books so that I can read them right away, and I will be doing that. Midnight Blue Light Special is the 3rd book following Verity Price, and then the 4th book starts following her brother Alexander and what he's doing in a different state. First of all, this one was so fucking good. I was so hoping that the series would continue with Verity because I loved the romance in this. Absolutely just wonderful, and I really liked all the characters and getting to know them, so I think this is the last book following Verity. I'm not sure, but I'm sad about that. But this one was really good and very entertaining. I gave both of them 5 stars for entertainment reasons. Are they like the pinnacle of literature? No, but they're so fun, and sometimes you need like a little palate cleanser when you're reading books like I read, like very disturbing, dark books. These are just a little for fun series, and there's 12 of them, so I will be reading them for a while, and it's still ongoing, so that's very exciting. So I really like these. If you haven't heard about the Encrypted series, you should check it out because I think they're very good, but I really like cryptids, so I might be biased. Okay, and the only other physical book I have here, so that is A Touch of Jen by Beth Morgan. This was gifted to me by Savvy, of course, who gifts me all, like half the books I own. And I always trust her opinion on books, so if I get a couple books that I have never heard of, those are usually the ones I start with because she just knows me so well that it's like, you're definitely going to be a good book, and this was certainly that. I'm not going to really give anything but a very vague synopsis. This is about a girl and her boyfriend who are really obsessed with this other girl, and her name is Jen. They are like obsessed with her and like follow her every movement on social media, and they used to be co-workers, so they like know her personally and all this stuff. It's so weird, and that's all I'm gonna tell you, but this was so good, and I feel like the more I think about it, the more I like it, and the more I want to reread it. It's fairly short. It's like 300 pages, so honestly, if you like weird ass books, then I would recommend this one because it's definitely a weird ass book. So I'm kind of going through my reading journal here for the next ones. Let's go with the obvious, the one I talked about in my last video, Cleopatra and Frankenstein by Coco Malors. I have a whole review of this book. I talked about it for like 10 minutes, so you can go check it out, so I won't give like a full word vomit of this book, but I will say that this is definitely one of my favorites of the year, and I think the hype for it is very well deserved. So I went into this not knowing anything about it. I thought it was just a contemporary kind of story, and I read it because I really liked the cover. And I wasn't all that interested in the story from what I remember, having seen it like for months now. But I finally picked it up because I'm like, the cover looks like it'd be something I would like. Like, I love painted covers. So I read it. New favorite book. Yeah, this is a book about two people who fall in love and get married within 6 months and then are divorced within the year. And it talks about like mental illness and addiction within a relationship and how that affects like the people in the relationship and everybody outside of it. It was just so fantastic, and I will never stop thinking about this book. I actually wrote an entire 2-page review of this in my journal, when normally I just do a 1-page review. But I wrote 2 pages of my thoughts on this and decorated it. So yeah, I really enjoyed this one. Would highly recommend, even if you're like thinking maybe you might not like it. I would say if you like contemporaries, just take the plunge and try it out, because I really loved it, and I haven't been big in contemporaries lately. Well, lately I have, but before that I never really was. So yeah. Okay, next up we have The Elephant in the Room. At least for me, this was a big release. It was one I was super excited for, and I've been looking forward to it for like a year now, and it just ticked all the boxes for me. And that is How to Sell a Haunted House by Grady Hendrix. I think this might be Grady Hendrix's best book yet. It's between that and My Best Friend's Exorcism, and they're both incredible for different reasons, but this one was genuinely terrifying. I never really knew I had a fear of puppets, but now I do, and it's all thanks to Grady Hendrix. Like, my whole thing while reading this book was literally like, what the fuck? What the fuck is wrong with Grady Hendrix? Why would he write something like this? And I cannot believe that this is going to be something that a lot of people end up getting their hands on. It's kind of like, it just, for me, it felt like really disturbing. And I was not expecting that from like a mainstream horror for some reason. But yeah, it emotionally scarred me. And maybe that's just because I now have a deep fear, or I discovered a deep fear of puppets. But yeah. So this one, if you didn't know, is about a woman whose parents both die, and she flies to where they live to like clean out their house. So she has issues with her brother, and her brother's there, all this different stuff, and her mom used to collect puppets. And the house is haunted. That's all I'm gonna say. This is so fucked up, and if you don't like clowns or puppets or stuff like that in that realm, I would say read this, because it's really scary, and I'm never going to be able to recover from that emotionally. So yeah, that's fun. But yeah, 5 stars. Can't say I didn't like it. So yeah. Next, we're going to talk about a book that was recommended to me in the comments of my Unhinged Women video, which you can also go check out if you want. So I would say that this is not like, okay, I don't have to put this. This is like Unhinged Women behavior, but like not as on the level as like A Certain Hunger or They Never Learn. Like, there's no like murder or anything in it. So it's like a realistic unhinged woman. So this one is about, oh, this is by Megan Nolan, by the way. And it's a debut, I'm pretty sure, so that's amazing. But this is about a woman who falls in love with this guy, and I'd say he's like not really in love with her, but she is so obsessed with him that she does like everything in her power to keep him. And it's just really, I don't know, it's really thought-provoking. Like, it's one of those books where if I had read this like in high school or like when I was a little bit younger, it would have completely changed my views on like my whole life. And now it's like, it still did that, but it's just like, I guess not as emotionally impactful because, you know, now I'm in like a healthy relationship and getting married. So yeah, but I think like the whole thing can be summed up. I wrote down this quote that I really liked, or part of a quote, and it's the scrabbling for a token of love from somebody who didn't want to offer it. And it's kind of like driving her to insanity. Absolutely loved this, would highly recommend. Thank you to the person that recommended me this because I loved it and I gave it 5 stars. So yeah, thank you so much. And the final book I want to talk about is another one that emotionally damaged me, and that is Sister Maiden Monster. I can't remember who this is by. Hold on. Lucy A. Snyder. When I say fucked up, yeah. So I should have known from the cover where this would be going with the whole biblically accurate angel thing. I have no words to convey my feelings about this book other than fucked up. And I put on Twitter, like I posted a picture of the book and said 5 stars, but at what cost? And that's really how I feel about it. Like, it was an incredible book. It was amazing, so well written, creepy, made me want to throw up. Like, I had to put the book down for a minute because it just got really disgusting. And like, it was incredible, and it's obviously a 5-star book, but like at the cost of my sanity, you know? And I don't know what I was expecting from this, but it wasn't what I got. And if you like body horror and kind of like an apocalypse situation, you would like this one. You would like it, and I do highly recommend it to everybody. But just be careful. Be careful and try to hold on to your sanity, please, because I could not. And it was a fun ride, but now I'm emotionally scarred. So yeah, lots of fun. But that is going to do it for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed. Let me know some of the books you've been reading that have been favorites recently. I'm always looking for new recommendations, obviously, because a lot of the ones that I just talked about were recommendations from some of you guys. So yeah, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.